A wise man once said, "We first make habits, then our habits make us." And it is so true because average people with good habits end up doing extraordinary things in life, whereas highly intelligent people with bad habits end up with nothing but disappointment. This is true in all walks of life, and trading is not any different. Great traders are not necessarily the smartest people, but they do have certain good habits that give them an edge over the rest of the traders, and that is why it's very important to understand what those habits are. So, in this video, we will go over 7 habits of highly successful traders. But before we get started, if you are new to this channel, if you are hearing me for the first time, do not forget to subscribe to the channel because this channel is dedicated for Indian traders and investors, where we explain complex stock market concepts in a very easy to understand way so that even an absolute beginner can easily understand them. Alright, let's get started. Habit number 1. Successful traders wait patiently for the trade to come to them instead of running after them. Warren Buffett cautioned us that stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Those who wait for the opportunities to come to them make tremendous amount of money, whereas those who keep chasing the market just keep losing money. Amateur traders cannot wait to take their next trade. They are like teenagers with guns in their hands, right? Always very eager, always very excited to pull the trigger. Many of the new traders I know, they cannot resist placing their next trade as soon as the market opens. It's almost like they crave for the adrenaline rush for the next trade. Professional traders, on the other hand, they are not in the stock market for excitement or fun. They are here to make money. And that is why they understand the importance of patience. They wait for the next trade, just as a sniper waits for his target to come to the perfect spot. So they wait and they wait and they wait and they wait some more. And only when they get that perfect opportunity, the perfect shot, they fire their weapon. And honestly, sitting next to a professional trader can be very boring because over 90% of the time, they just pretty much sit and watch. When I was a budding trader, I got an opportunity to visit a New York-based prop trading firm. But when I went to their office, it was nowhere close to what I had imagined. Right? I mean, I was hoping for some high-pressure environment, a lot of screens blinking, phones buzzing, and people yelling buy and sell, right? I mean, that's kind of a thing we see in the movies. But instead, what I saw was a pretty cool environment. Some traders were just relaxing on the couch, some were exercising, some were listening to music, some were playing table tennis, and some were doing meditation. Almost felt like I walked into a cafeteria of a college. So clearly I was very confused, but later a senior trader explained me that they intentionally don't stare at the monitor all day long because it just creates more stress and temptation to take the next trade. So when a trader feels that the market is not giving them the perfect opportunity, what they do is that they basically create alerts in the system based on their perfect setup, and they just then walk away from the terminal. So if the market comes to their perfect setup, the alert gets triggered, and when they get notified, they end up taking the trade, and that ends up being a much better trade than the trade that they probably would have taken had they stared at the screen all day long. So he gave me a very good advice that don't chase the market. Let the market come to you. It is much easier that way, and that one line changed my perspective towards the market. Habit number 2. Successful traders focus on their circle of control. Stephen Covey, in his famous book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, popularized the concept of circle of concern and circle of control. So in a very simple terms, circle of concern means all the things that we are worried about, and circle of control refers to all the factors that we can actually control. For example, I could be worried that it might rain and I can get wet, but that is not in my control. What I should rather be worried about is getting an umbrella because that is in my control. Isn't that better, right? So by focusing on our circle of control, we can lead a more effective and productive life. Now, when it comes to trading, amateur traders are concerned about the outcome of the trade. How will the trade work out? Will I incur a loss? Will I incur a profit, right? So their whole focus is on whether or not they're going to make some money. But the problem in focusing on the outcome of the trade is that it is completely out of the circle of control. Just like the rain, nobody actually knows how a trade would eventually work out. So there is no point worrying about it, right? Professional traders therefore focus on their circle of control. They focus on the factors that they can actually control. Factors such as when to trade, when not to trade, when to enter into a trade with how much capital, when to add to a position, when to reduce a position, and when to exit. So by focusing on these controllable factors, they make sure that they are ready to execute their trades with maximum efficiency and giving it a very high chance of success. Habit number 3. Successful traders plan for their exits before entering in the trades. We all have heard about the story of Abhimanyu, who was a young brave warrior who knew how to enter into the Chakravyuh but did not know how to get out of it. And his story is of course one of the most heartbreaking tragedies in Mahabharata. Now Abhimanyu probably did not have a choice as he had to fight in the absence of his father. But we as traders, we do have a choice, right? Every trade can potentially become a Chakravyuh. So we have to make a choice every day whether to enter the Chakravyuh or not. But unfortunately, amateur traders enter the Chakravyuh way too quickly, way too eagerly without having any plan how to get out of that. And when they walk deep into this Chakravyuh and they start incurring losses, they don't know how and when to get out of the trade. So what happens is that they start to get emotional. So instead of coming out, they start getting deeper and deeper in the Chakravyuh. They start getting desperate, they keep averaging their losing positions, they keep hoping for things to get better. But none of this really helps. And when they are completely out of options, they start reaching out to their friends, their colleagues, they post on forums, and they even reach out to complete strangers and they keep asking, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Why? Because they don't have the knowledge nor the experience to come out of this Chakravyuh of losing trades. I have seen traders taking a loss of 10 lakh rupees, 15 lakh rupees, even 20 or 30 lakh rupees in one day in one trade. All because they knew how to get into the trade but did not know how to get out of it. It's really tragic to see how trading careers can end with just one bad trade. And that is exactly the reason why professional traders, they know the importance of exits. They know their exits even before they enter into the trade. Both in the cases of profits and losses, they know exactly when they will come out of that trade. See, they know that any trade can potentially end up in a loss, and that's just a fact of life. But what is not acceptable is letting one bad trade jeopardize their whole trading capital or their whole trading career. So that is why they always know how to get out of the Chakravyuh. Habit number 4. Successful traders are obsessed with trading analytics. Socrates warned us that an unexamined life is not worth living. And in the same spirit, we can say that an unexamined trade is not worth taking. Amateur traders want to forget about the previous trades and move on just like children move on from the studies after their final exams. So these traders, they don't want to think about the previous trades, especially the losing ones. Why? Because it brings bad memories, right? Who likes to think about the losses? So obviously they want to forget about the past and they want to focus on the future, right? So which stock should I trade next? Which index should I trade next? Should I take a long position? Should I take a short position? But there is one problem in this attitude. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Therefore, professional traders obsess about analyzing their previous trades, especially the ones where they incurred losses. So instead of moving on from their losses, they stick around. They spend a lot of time reflecting from every possible angle to see what went right, what went wrong, what they could have done better, if there are any blind spots or patterns in their trading that are holding them back from becoming better traders. So from this analysis, from this manthan, they get important insights that make them better traders in the long run. And personally, I believe that trading analytics is one of the most underappreciated aspects of trading. Habit number 5. Successful traders follow a system. Trading is chaos. Every aspect of trading is chaotic. Right from the preparation of the trade to the execution of the trade, traders have to constantly deal with turbulence, uncertainty, and doubt. Now, amateur traders' solution to this problem is just relying on their feeling. They take the trade when they feel like it, they stay in the trade till they feel like it, and they exit the trade when they feel like it. But the problem with this approach is that no trader ever became successful by trading based on their feelings, because feelings are just emotions, and in this market, there is no place for emotions. Now, the successful traders deal with the market chaos by building a system. They bring structure, rules, and processes to every aspect of trading, and they have rules for everything. They have rules for when they will take a trade, they have rules for when they will not take a trade, they have rules for stock selection, they have rules for taking and managing the trade, they have rules for analyzing those trades, right? So they leave very little to imagination or feelings. Now, of course, the gut feeling is always there, but that gut feeling works within the framework of these rules. Habit number 6. Successful traders approach every trade with a clear head. So let me ask you a question. If you flip a coin 99 times and every time it happens to be tails, what do you think is the probability of getting a tails again? Well, 50-50, right? Because the 100th coin toss has absolutely no relation with the 99th coin toss or the 98th or the 97th or any previous coin toss. Similarly, in trading, the outcome of every new trade has absolutely no statistical relation with the previous trades. Doesn't matter how the previous trades turned out to be, the next trade is an entirely new episode altogether. But that is not how amateur traders approach their trades. They carry forward their feelings from the previous trades to the next trade. So, if they had a few successful trades in a row, they tend to become overconfident and start taking bigger positions, bigger risks. And if they had a few losing trades in a row, their confidence begins to shake, they start to get desperate, they start making psychological mistakes. But professional traders understand that if there is any link between the last trade and this trade, it is the trader himself. And it is very important to break that link. So, they give every trade a fresh start by not burdening it with the emotional baggage of the previous trades. Habit 7. Successful traders constantly adapt and learn. Howard Gardner once said that if you think education is expensive, try estimating the cost of ignorance. And ignorance can be especially expensive in trading because there is money on the line in every trade. Now, amateur traders get comfortable with one style of trading, right? So once they start seeing some profit from one strategy or one setup or one technique, they think that their job is done and now it's time for them to just relax and mint money. Successful traders, on the other hand, they know that the stock market is continuously evolving, so one strategy, one technique or one setup cannot work forever. Therefore, they constantly strive to learn new strategies, new technologies, new instruments and even new markets. They invest time, money and effort in gathering as much knowledge as possible because they know that knowledge is power in stock market. I will give you guys an example. A senior trader friend of mine, now in his 60s, started learning algo trading recently. Now he doesn't really have any background in coding or programming as such, nor does he need to learn anything new because he's already very successful. So I asked him out of curiosity that why are you bothering yourself with all this new stuff, right? Why don't you just keep doing what you're already doing? So he said, Venkat, times have changed. Today I'm not competing with other traders. Today I'm competing with algos that are 1,000 times faster than me. So if I keep trading the way I used to, it would be like bringing a knife to a gunfight. What do you think is going to happen, right? I'm going to lose the battle. So I need to have the same class of weapons as my competitors. So that was very inspiring for me. Such a senior trader, such an experienced trader, such a successful trader, if he can muster courage at this point of time in his life to learn a new technology, then why shouldn't we? So with that piece of wisdom, guys, I will conclude this video. I hope that you learned something new today.